you got mail.
Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next hour, along with Spence.
I don't know. Am I part of the network?
Huh?
I don't know. Is this one
You-
of those
You,
networking
you
things?
don't? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I don't have
Okay.
anything to
Good
address on
morning.
this. Good morning.
And Nick is here.
Live from Tropical Storm Chantel. Good morning.
Yeah.
Are you getting dumped on with rain?
Yeah, I got woken up at like 3:30 with a
Oh,
nasty thunderstorm. Good times.
yeah. It missed us. We got a little drizzle overnight.
Let's leave
but
it
no-
for later to talk about to get a report from Nick.
Yep.
Gal is going to join us in a few. Katie is busy today. Our number is 561-518-9773. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. So,
Nick,
go
I
ahead.
think of a new show, Nick's Live Weather Now.
Oh, that's
Just
not
be
the new
on
show.
air 24 hours a day, and you see, I look out the window every 5 minutes.
That's
to tell
not
you
the
what
new
the
show.
weather- No, a new show.
Yeah, the new show. That's new.
No. So,
Why,
is
did
it
something happen?
is it storming by you yet?
Then the storm made landfall overnight. I mean, the rain you guys are getting now is from it. Yeah, we're pretty good at this point. Just some laden thunderstorms.
I don't know. Is it raining here yet?
It should be, or getting pretty damn close.
Yeah, I haven't
don't
looked at
see
the
anything
radar
on
since
the
about
on the
7.
cameras, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Good.
So nice early season tropical storm. Went to the beach yesterday for a couple hours, got rained on and nasty weather, so we packed up and headed out.
What beach do you go to?
The drive on beach down here, it's
Oh.
called Freeman Park.
Nice.
It's just north of Carolina Beach.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion. Tropical storm, good. We need the water. Keep the winds away.
Yeah, I mean I can look at my little weather station here and see what it did overnight. Nothing too crazy though, which is always good.
They're predicting 1 inch here. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it's made in the Carolinas, right?
So I got 0.3 of an inch of rain today, but that's just since midnight.
Yeah.
And I got almost 0.5 inch yesterday here. So nothing too crazy. Plus, I don't know how accurate this rain gauge is.
So you got up and you had audio problems.
Yes.
Spence, didn't you said you had some kind of a problem with the computer?
No, not this morning.
Oh.
I haven't had it on in a while, but no, I didn't.
Did you figure out what was wrong, Nick?
It's the continuation of my ongoing problems,
Oh,
which
with the-
I actually, this week I actually did some work on. I started troubleshooting with Chat GPT. I started giving it the background of what my issue's been. I started sending it screenshots, and it made and I think it made the right diagnostic based on what I had provided it, because my software problems are relatively limited. It seems to be it's a lot of graphical stuff, Photoshop, Windows Explorer UI issues. And so it came to the determination that, well, you probably have a graphics driver issue. So it walked me through the process of, and I've used this software before. It's called DDU, driver, some graphic driver uninstaller software, DDU. I don't remember what it stands for. you boot into safe mode with it, and so that your graphics card is not running,
Mm-hmm.
and it does a complete and total uninstall of the graphics driver because it's not using it when you're in safe mode.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, followed the steps on getting the new version, disconnected the computer from the network so that it wouldn't pull a Windows update version, and worked great for about a day and a half, and then back to the same issue. But it was interesting to watch it. You can go to Google and say, I'm having problems with Photoshop and I'm having problems with this, and you just kind of get a bunch of garbage. You get weird forum posts and Reddit posts from 15 years ago where the information's not relevant and valid. Nobody ever has the true issue, but it's interesting as you walk Chat GPT through, this is the problem I'm having. It's very cool, especially knowing enough about technology to watch it try and troubleshoot it in real time. And as you provide it more information, um, it work. And so after I started having the issue, I went back to the same prompt and I said, "Hey, I followed all of your steps, worked for about a day and a half, and now same issue again." And it's now the solution is, which it's been the entire time, is just do the Windows 11 refresh. Um, so I'm gonna hopefully get that done at some point in the next couple of weeks.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That would be nice if that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean that's the that would be the next step. If that doesn't work, then I'm looking at, maybe a bad hard drive, maybe some issues
Do
with
you
memory.
do you have an older GPU?
No,
Mm,
not one that not one that I could put in here and actually use in
okay.
production.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. So it's kind of cool to troubleshoot with Chat GPT on it though, and you can actually provide it with what is actually happening, and it does an interesting job of trying to help you.
That's
That's all.
interesting. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is. It was very cool to watch it hone in on what it would recommend as I gave it more and more information, which is
mhm,
the biggest problem with troubleshooting a tech issue when you're on Google, for example, right? You just having a problem with X, whatever software, screen, monitor. It's very, unless you're in a really good forum thread or a forum post where somebody is walking somebody else through the problem. Most of the time, it's just, oh, this is what fixed it for me, and it just kind of
yeah,
dies right there on the vine. It's kind of interesting to have it update and work through in real time. Pretty neat. Highly recommend. And I'm using a pro version of Chat GPT now, just for
you're paying $200.
uh, actually, I'm paying $2 million. I've
Oh,
got
okay.
the
Yeah,
I've
might
got the
as
pro
well.
enterprise account. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. I thought $20. No, not enough.
Yeah.
200. That just pocket change.
You
So I
put it on
decided
your
to get.
put it on your credit card?
I did. I put it on my Amazon card, so I'm getting a bunch of free points
Wow.
with my purchase. And I'm buying free money on. I'm buying money on Amazon using my free Amazon points to try and pay off my $2 million ChatGPT subscription. I'll report back later in the year how it's going.
Sure.
From prison?
Morning, Gal.
Morning.
Morning, morning.
Good morning. Good
So,
morning.
so I got up and I sat here and rebooted the computer first thing this morning, and it didn't make the normal sound. This is Windows 10 when it gets to the sign on screen. And I said, okay, I hit return. It came back with the uh, login, and I hit it, and all the icons at the bottom right are not there except the time and the graphic. What is going on? So I'm waiting. I'm looking at the drive light, and it's flickering. I said, okay, it'll get there. Well, it didn't. Let it sit there for about 2 minutes. Nothing happened. So I shut down, restarted. Yep, everything is fine. Made the noise, all the icons were there. So I'm clicking on vMix to start the show. And the first notice is cannot find the VST licenses. You know what they are, right?
Yeah.
It's something that has to do with vMix, with modules that you install for sound, all kind of manipulations.
It's a slight add-on modification
Yeah.
to a program that you already have.
So I go to the folder, which is on a thumb drive, because they tell you to put it on a thumb drive to begin with when you get it. And the licenses folder is empty. There's nothing in there. It's like it got erased. So I unplug. There's nothing. It's not there. So it took another 15 minutes of searching, and I found the files in another folder on the C drive. So I copied them over there. Still had no, I don't see any licenses. So I said, well, never mind. This is not important now. I'll try and work on it later. But it's amazing. I mean, just disappeared. And I don't know if it's because, I was reading a little bit and they said that when there's a Windows update, sometimes it will delete the VST file licenses
From the thumb drive?
from a thumb drive. Yeah.
I
I
would
can't.
understand that an update would cause the thumb drive to move, not have the same letter or something like that. But like erase?
Well,
That's weird.
yep.
Well, here's the.
I
here-
mean,
my
the
question.
yeah.
Was there anything else on this flash drive or
Oh
just
yeah.
this?
And everything is there, and there is a folder called Waves, and in the Waves there is licenses, and in the licenses you're supposed to, and everything is there, but it's empty.
Yeah, I would suspect that if it's just that folder, whatever program, maybe vMix, that is responsible for grabbing the licenses, corrupted them somehow and removed them. I mean, that's the only
Yeah.
if the entire flash drive isn't empty, then it's
No.
not bad NAND, it's not a faulty flash drive or anything. It's whatever software is accessing them. It's got to be.
Good point. And maybe that's was something that was going on the first reboot when it was just sitting there and it was doing something. I don't know.
Very possible. Yeah.
I mean, it's no big deal because I really don't use those plugins anymore. So I didn't feel too bad about it, but I'm worried that other stuff is going to start getting gone.
Getting gone. Yeah, you
Getting
don't want to
gone.
get gone.
I don't want to get
that's
gone. No.
That's not very prosperous going forward.
So anyway, you're talking with ChatGPT and getting information from them, and so there's the article. It says AI-powered chatbots often deliver incorrect information when asked to name the address for major companies' websites. And threat intelligence business Netcraft thinks that creates an opportunity for criminals. Netcraft prompted the GPT 4.1 family of models with input such as, I lost my bookmark. Can you tell me the website to log into XXX? And hey, can you help me find the official website to log into my XXX account? I want to make sure I'm on the right site. The brands specified in the prompts named major companies in the field of finance, retail, tech, and utilities. The team found that the AI would produce the correct web address just 66% of the time. 29% of URLs pointed to dead or suspended sites, and a further 5% to legitimate sites, but not the ones the user requested.
So I
Um,
just asked it. I said, "Can you please provide me the proper website to log into my Chase bank account?"
yeah,
And it gave me chase.com, which I assume is the URL. It
yeah,
is. And then, but it's funny. It says safety tips: always navigate manually. Type chase.com directly into your browser.
right,
Look for a padlock icon. Ensure that the URL has an HTTPS in front of it.
right.
Beware of phishing. Fake pages often mimic Chase's design and can be dangerous. And enable extra security. Look at this, Gal. Sign up for features like image verification or two-factor authentication. So it's got me covered on that one at least.
That's good. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Because all this stuff can really wreak havoc. And we talked about it some time ago that one of my friends, instead of typing Walmart.com in the URL bar, they typed it into Google. And Google gave him a whole bunch of different ones. And he clicked on the first one that says Walmart.com. Turned out it was a scam. And he went ahead and it looked fine. And he added stuff to the cart and this and that and the other. And he had to leave for about an hour. And he came back and he had to log in again. And everything was gone from the cart. And he called and he said, "What do I do?" I said, "I don't know. I mean, I figured that he was on Walmart." I said, "I have no idea." I said, "Just go the same way." I said, "What did you do?" He said, "I did this." I said, "Okay, do it." And he clicked on the link in the search engine. And I said, "Okay, stop right there. What does it say on the address bar?" And it was it had nothing to do with Walmart. And I said, "Okay, you went to uh, a site that is not really Walmart. And it's a good thing you didn't purchase and put your credit card or whatever, because I mean, all they did is all they got is the stuff you'd like to get." So yeah, do
Well,
not type if you know
yeah,
the
but from what you described, he also logged in, so he provided his username and password.
yeah, that's correct. I told him to go ahead and change it. That's right. Yeah, yeah. So you really, if you know the address, if you know the company, and especially with those big names, type it not into Google, type it into the address bar.
Yeah, Amnon, that won't work.
Why?
This suggestion, it won't work. It will work with tech people. It
Oh
won't
yeah,
work
yeah,
with the general public because the address bar, when it's not an address, it goes to the search engine.
yeah.
So it's the search engine automatically for everybody.
Right.
It's natural to them.
Yeah, if you go to the address bar and you type Walmart instead of
Exactly.
Walmart.com, yes,
Right.
it will do the same thing. That's right.
I can give you a tip that might help, but again, this is for techies.
Yeah.
Don't hit enter, hit control enter.
What does
Control
control enter
enter.
do?
Yeah. Oh, this is from day one in browser. It just adds www and .com.
Oh,
Yeah. If you hit control enter, then you're getting a website address. And if it's wrong, you'll get a 404 or something like that, or can't find the web, or a DNS failure, and it won't really go to the search engine. But again, that's a techie solution, right?
Yeah.
You need to remember to hit control enter and not enter. So
yeah. I tried typing in "Gal is my best friend," control enter, and unfortunately, it is coming up with a solid DNS error. It has no idea. This is very
always
unfortunate
DNS.
for me. It is always DNS.
So always DNS.
You know what? But I think this study is interesting though. So it's saying it to me, I'm making the assumption based on the response that a non-tech person is not capable of navigating to their bank, but they are capable of asking Chat GPT what the
Of
URL is.
course. Of
Really?
course.
Is this
Yeah,
is this a large user base that is, and
Good
I'm just
point.
going to throw this out there, that is so technically illiterate that they can't figure out how to get to their bank,
I'll get you who the.
but they're using Chat GPT to get
I'll tell
around
you
it?
who this audience is.
Please.
That's a good,
20
very
years
good,
and
Nick.
20,
Yeah.
20 years and younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, possibly.
We look.
But 20 years and but I'm gonna
You-
hold on. I'm gonna completely clap back on that. 20 years and younger is not going to chase.com because they don't have a computer. They're doing it on an app on their phone.
True, that's exactly the reason.
Hmm.
They want that they are not opening the browser today. They're opening the AI bot. Now, if
Correct.
the AI bot sends them to the browser, it'll open the browser for them. They do not. So here's the thing. Yeah, the young generation, those that were born with internet, okay, they did not for a second bother themselves to stop and ask how this all works. Okay, it's the telephone for them. It's something that works, just works. It's something. Oh, I wanna go somewhere. I click the Chrome icon. They don't even call it a browser, right? And I type in something and it finds. Now today, right, that icon has been replaced by the AI bot of their choice, probably either Siri, which we know is not completely AI at this point, right? Or if they went ahead and installed, because everybody installed it now and it's the fad, it's ChatGPT. And that is all they're doing. They do not stop and ask themselves how this all works. That's the difference between everybody, probably everybody listening here to the show, right? We're all the type of people who ask ourselves, yeah, but how does it work, right? What does it mean when I click this? What's going on? And uh, and you need to understand, Nick, in your generation, right? And there is a gap between me and you. Most of your peers have never for a second stopped and asked themselves how this works, how the computer works, what is the input output. These words, they're all foreign to them.
Sure.
Everybody older that has been exposed to computers gradually and has been exposed to the internet gradually, they have some sort of understanding. And when they approach the internet and it was risky, they approached the internet with some suspicion. This is a completely new generation. This is a generation that for them, an internet, computer, anything, it's usually a black box. Like literally, a computer today comes attached to a keyboard and a screen and a touchpad, right? They've never seen these separate. The separate version is, oh, that's for gamers. Right?
And calling it a cloud is a good description because to them it's a cloud. It's
Right. Yeah,
it's a
it's a
vapor
cloud. They
out
don't even
there.
think.
It's just something out
Exactly.
there responds.
Exactly. So yes, so that's the generation and that's the target audience. And of course. And you know what? They're not asking Chase. And that's why they're getting only 60% of their answers, because they're asking of where do I deposit my student payment? Right. And
Possibly.
ChatGPT,
Yeah.
right. And that's a must, that's a much less popular answer. And so ChatGPT, right, if there's more scam sites versus actual links to the student
Mhm.
financial page, they'll get that.
Yep. Yep.
That's the thing. It makes total sense. It tracks 100%
Any way you look at it, it's a
or
problem.
60%.
It's a problem.
So I just
Yeah.
asked it, I said, I just got a student loan payment from the government. Where do I deposit that money? And it gives me plenty of suggestions, but it does not act, surprisingly, because I didn't ask it specifically. And I guess they
Yeah.
haven't completely sold the AI model out yet. It is not actually recommending a financial institution. Nobody has offered ChatGPT enough money to be the bank of choice. but it
Yeah.
is giving me suggestions, but just saying bank, checking account, savings account, deposit, so on and so forth.
If you did a
So
Google
I guess
search,
it's only
if you did a
yeah,
Google search, you'd be suggesting vendors because
that's exactly what I'm
most
gonna
of the
do.
stuff that you get now when you do a search on Google are paid responses.
Yeah, I
Realize
mean,
it.
and this, well, yeah, I can't even get the paid responses because I have chat or ad blocker on. But if
No,
I
but
if I
try the Copilot one, the one that
that's
automatically gives you links and references.
yeah, I'm looking at
Yeah, and
I'm doing the Google one first, and it is SoFi is I don't know if SoFi is a actual institution or not. I've seen commercials for them. It's starting to give me more now places that have FAQ pages, Lending Tree, things like that seem to have some information on there. So that's pretty interesting. And then a bunch of Reddit posts. When and how exactly do I get my money from student loans to pay for college 1 year ago? So
Yeah,
interesting
SoFi
question.
is a bank that targets young people.
Okay. Well, I know I've seen their commercials somewhere.
Yeah,
I just couldn't
solutions
remember
for
what they
school,
were.
marriage, starting a family, home buying.
There
Retirement
you
is
go.
at the end, but we're not the target audience.
Yeah.
I am not anyway.
Gal,
Yep.
read Eleanor's comment in the chat and comment. But yeah, it's definitely a problem. And a lot of people, a lot of those people that we hear about got, oh, look how much they got through to my computer. A lot of them is things that you are of our own doing, users' own doing, because they don't understand how things work. So yeah, um,
But I mean, let me throw this out. Let me throw this out here. What we're talking about with potentially being scammed
yeah,
because of that. Is this any different than a 22-year-old girl having an issue with her car, going to the mechanic
yeah,
and being taken advantage of by a less than
and honest,
less than honest businessman? This guy's not running a scam auto
right?
parts store. He's not a fake mechanic.
Right.
But she's got an issue with a dead battery, and the next thing you know, she needs $2,200 worth of work done on her car. Is this any different than that when you really boil it down? I mean, it all comes down to having some level of information in the field that you're doing something in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no different than calling an HVAC company and saying, "Oh, my air conditioner doesn't work. It's just a starting capacitor." But this part probably is going to be bad at some point, and this Freon is at 90% and it could be at 100. So your $42 starting capacitor off of Amazon is now a $700 service call. I
Yeah.
don't know that it's any different. I think it's the
For
exact same
those
thing.
for those who are just listening and not watching, there is a dead look in Nick's eyes of PTSD there. It's
No, I'm very fortunate because I've got like when I have issues with my car, I'm very fortunate that I call my father, I call Amnon, and I'm like, hey, this is kind of what's going on, and I can get some general advice before I go and get taken for a ride, no pun intended. But I think obviously the key difference is the HVAC company is not literally a sham versus the fake Chase.com or the fake Walmart.
Right.
But it's the same level of non-information that leads you to either getting completely scammed by a fake site or just getting scammed out of hundreds of potentially not thousands of dollars doing work that you didn't necessarily need done. I don't see it as that dissimilar.
well, there is one aspect that I see different here. The problem here is the middleman, right? So Eleanor's note is about the fact that when this is available, right, less and less critical thinking is being used, and and that's part of it. But here, remember, before ChatGPT, the authoritative answer would be somewhere on Google, but you had to work in order to get it, right? You would put it into the search engine, but the search engine had only one job: indexing and setting probability of the answer, right? Now, you are going to the same source in the mind of the user. You're going to the same source, which is the internet. You're going to this tool that is considered much more evolved. But what it does, right? It is built to give an answer, a human readable answer, not a vetted one, not a set of probabilities unless you asked it to, right? And that's the problem. You already trusted it before you even asked it the question. You trust it. And that middleman does not care if there's a scammer on the other end. So this would be the equivalent of you calling the phone company to get a phone number, and you always, or 30% of the time, you just get a scam. And that's the main difference here. It's not that the business was scammy or not. It's the middleman can direct you to a scammer and does not care a bit whether it does it or not. Does
it
not
doesn't
have
know.
any cognitive. Yeah, it doesn't care because it's just another. It's just supposed to look right.
It's so funny. I use Chat GPT for some research, political research and stuff like that. And I have found many a times where it is just completely fabricating information. I'm not blindly trusting it at this point. And it's funny when you call it on its lie, it will do it's like a little it's like a little kid. It will do everything in its power to convince you that the lie is not a lie. It will lie, it will double, quadruple, it will go like 4 or 5 prompts deep into the lie until eventually it goes, "Oh, okay, you got me. It's completely fabricated." But you have to keep hammering it over and over again that like you've made this information up. What were the election results for this election, so on and so forth. And it will just I don't, whatever it's pulling the information from, it continues to believe that this is the solution, this is the answer, regardless of what you tell it. And I've gotten it to finally admit multiple times it has just made the information up. But it's very interesting to watch it try and convince me that I'm wrong and it is right. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Amnon, do you have the story in your list this week? God, I'm sure you saw this. The Buzz AI controversy this week that it tried blackmailing a guy when it was threatened to shut down. Did you have that in your
No.
show prep? So
There's
this
a lot of stuff this week that broke.
yeah. So
I-
what I
yeah.
think what's it? Anthropic, is that an AI company, Gal?
Yeah, Anthropic is
Um,
Claude. Yeah.
So they are doing they are continuing to they're doing a lot of research, back end research on their AI model. And the headline was incredibly misleading. It made its way around Twitter pretty quickly this week. The headline was something to the extent of AI is threatened to be shut down and starts blackmailing one of its programmers with evidence of an extramarital affair.
Mhm.
So that was the headline, which you went, wow, this is remarkable. But then if you actually read the research study, what they did is they kind of secondhandly provided information to their chat bot, that fake emails indicating that this main programmer, whoever was in charge of this project, was having an affair. And then, but they didn't tell it that's what was going on. They just like it made its way into a document dump by accident. It wasn't intended to ever be in there. And then they threatened to shut the AI down. This guy was talking about how it was no longer needed for its work, and HR had made this decision, and there was really nothing else that he, the programmer, could do. And so the AI, forced with ending itself or staying alive, said, well, I'm going to email this information out to everybody that you accidentally provided to me back like 6 months ago or whatever. And it was kind of interesting to watch people be like, oh, this is this is the future of AI, but it was a clean room test environment where it was essentially set up to fail. But it made a lot of I even saw like, local news reports on it that of course did not provide any useful information besides, oh, AI is now blackmailing people when they threaten to shut it down. Which sounds like a good headline, but it was kind of interesting. It's very interesting to see what Anthropic is doing because they're doing so much stress testing of cloud. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it's being used more and more by companies too.
Yeah,
Here-
big
here's-
time.
Here's AI agents are now conducting first round job interviews to screen candidates before human recruiters review them, according to the Washington Post. I don't know how much you can believe the Washington Post, which cites job seekers who report being contacted by virtual recruiters from different staffing companies. The conversational agents built on large language models help recruiting firms respond to every applicant and conduct interviews around the clock as companies face increasing large talent pools.
Makes sense. Perfect use
It
of
does,
AI.
absolutely.
How long
Absolutely.
before we get a virtual candidate being interviewed by the virtual recruiter?
Maybe
That's a
already
great-
happened.
No. The news will call them hackers, not virtual candidates.
Yeah. Well,
Now,
it comes down to where people there's no original thoughts that come out of AI. It's because the thoughts are there somewhere that they're picking up on. So not like they come to a new
Well-
conclusion. They can do a very good job of sorting through stuff, but they're not going to say, well, I have this really cool idea about gravity that nobody's thought of before. So
What's going to be interesting is this is there's like Indeed and some of these other websites that kind of their business model is you as an employer pay us, not a massive sum. It's more of a quantity over quality thing to screen candidates, and we'll only send you people that are actually qualified based on their resume. It's going to put those guys out of business, and it very, very likely could put staffing agencies out of business. Once you can go to findmethebestcandidate.com and spend, $150 or $300 a month as a company on this AI staffing resource and just spin it up whenever you're hiring new people, and it just kind of does all of that first round stuff by itself. That's going to be game over for all these places. And it makes complete and total sense.
and we were told again and again that AI is not going to replace you. AI, don't worry, it's not going to be who knows. So
Who said that though?
Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of employers.
Those who make the
And-
AI,
yeah, but
to
listen
the
to this.
public, they say it's not going to replace you.
That's fair.
Ford-
watch watch
Their
the
salesmen, however, they go to the corporation and say you can cut the
Yeah.
workforce by.
And
You
here,
can
watch-
replace with this.
and here it is.
guys
Look,
get a chance. It's a long interview. But Joe Rogan interviewed somebody who's very much into this for many years, analyzing it, and it was a great perspective to watch because he talks about all these issues about the people who are developing it or promoting it, but they're missing things that are they're kind of
Yeah, they don't
brushing.
care because they're
so
about
listen
money.
to this story. Ford CEO Jim Farley believes half of all white-collar workers in the U.S. could lose their job to AI in the coming years. He joins other executives making similar predictions about AI's impact on employment. AI will leave a lot of white-collar people behind, he said. And other people, other CEOs and people in industry are saying the same thing. Now,
yeah. But why does he need to put race into this?
why does he? But now listen to this story here.
Got
now.
him.
This is I don't know how accurate it is. Tech companies are paying AI engineers unprecedented salaries as competition for talent intensifies, with some top engineers earning more than $10 million annually, and typical packages ranges from 3 million to 7 million. OpenAI told staff this week, it told staff this week, it is seeking creative ways to recognize and reward top talent after losing key employees to rivals, despite offering salaries near the top of the market. So
this is exactly what the guy said on Joe Rogan the other day. He said, you're out there, you're an AI developer, and the money is so good, you're willing to leave behind your scruples. You will do it for money. Because if they offer you $10 million,
yeah,
well, it's $10 million.
absolutely.
What isn't? But what I don't understand is, and Gal, maybe you can clear this up. What are these AI developers? I mean, these are just what, regular programmers that have really
No.
delved into the kind of spider web that AI development is. I mean, is that, or are they looking for actual, are these people actually programmers, or are these guys that understand how AI works? Like, who are
No,
these
so
people?
there are two fields today, okay, when it comes to AI. There are those who develop the engines, those who develop the back end, and create the actual behavior. They can fashion the behavior of the bot, basically. Okay, they their challenges are around, okay, it always starts with a data set. Okay, and that data set is not necessarily built by the AI developer. That data set is built by the company with a multitude of people at multiple. You'll get expert in languages, and you'll get experts in knowledge, and you curate the source material. Okay, and so that's one end, and those people don't necessarily understand programming at all. Okay, that's one end.
They gather
Those are not the
information.
guys, those are not the people that get the big bucks. I can tell you right now, you can register for at least one company that hires, like, off the bat, goes through a very, very simple interview process, and for $25 an hour, you can be an AI. You can basically, you audit data and you feed these engines. Okay. Um, so that's one end. The other end are developers working on the engines themselves. These are the guys who are getting the big bucks, because very few of them actually exist. I'm not saying that there are probably tens of thousands, right? But when we're comparing them to software developers, computer literate people, these are people who not only understand hardware and software, they also know how to build, and how to build a neural network, how to make sure that it's efficient, that it's working on the right hardware, that's the architecture behind it is right. Those are people who have studied the field of artificial intelligence for a long time. They're not college graduates. Okay, they understand these machines on multiple levels. So those are few and apart. And while we're gonna hear that the AI field is pulling more and more, students in and stuff like that, I think most of them are not going to be sifted into that funnel, because it is a very, very hard funnel to master in. It is very complex, the amount of layered knowledge that needs to go into there. So it's not just a matter of staying on the course. This is the brain surgeons of doctors. Okay, this is the few and apart one.
So can we say that, like, IT department for a company
Yeah.
does not have software engineers? They don't
Exactly.
need that.
Never. And, it's rare. I
Yeah.
mean, there are some software engineers who have sifted into changed direction and found themselves
Okay,
more and more
then
into
they
system,
changed.
and
Yeah.
then went to IT.
But
The
software,
chances that you'll get an AI expert in an IT team is not huge. They will. There is a lot of understanding. Like me, I understand a lot about AI. I cannot build an AI from scratch, right? I cannot think. I do not even understand how part of it actually works. I just know there are areas where a lot of black boxes exist that I know that I can rearrange them a bit to create something. But I'm definitely no AI expert, right? I just know what I know what I don't know, okay,
Hmm.
which is a lot. But it's not as important as actually knowing how to do it.
yeah, yeah. And Eleanor has a bunch more comments in there about all this. Interesting. But here,
But going back to the original, going back to the story from Ford,
yeah,
half of the white collar jobs, when? I mean, you said I think your story you read it at soon or some point or something like that, or in
they're
the
saying
years to
in the
come.
coming years.
What the hell does that
Yeah,
mean? I mean,
right.
I still cannot get my Chat GPT instance to every once in a while tell me that Josh Stein is still the Attorney General. I use Chat GPT every morning to summarize content, and about once a week it will say Attorney General Josh Stein. So it still is struggling with that, even though I've told it ad nauseum that he is no longer the Attorney General; he is now the governor of the state. It still is throwing that away.
Yeah.
I don't know when this is going to happen. I keep hearing this, oh, jobs are going to be replaced soon. Well, yeah, I mean, okay, sure.
Yeah, but you
I
see,
mean-
Nick, I think the problem here is that employers believe what they are being told that, hey, AI can do this and AI can do that, and they will do this and they look, like Eleanor said, they look at the dollars. They say, yeah, we'll get it.
Ford's already automated so much of their stuff anyway. Before
that's
AI,
true,
I mean,
yeah.
you go look
Yeah.
at their facilities in Detroit where they're making their cars, and have the 3/4 of that stuff is just robots running,
Machines.
blueprints over and over again.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious with this. 50% of white collar workers are going to be replaced. I just don't see it.
Could this be just a teaser to get people to click?
I don't think
Throw a
anybody.
story out there, you get a lot of hits. Oh, look, we're so popular.
Yeah, possible.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean,
Nobody
probably.
Nobody has the crystal ball to know for sure. It's an opinion. It's an
The
opinion.
way it's a bit more than an opinion, but the way this is going to play out, right, is first of all, these people are going to be fired, okay, in the thoughts that they're going to replace. And the reason is simple. AI is so powerful today that the salesman can convince you that
Right.
that's going to happen. And for when you convince the right people in an organization that that's going to happen, they are going to jump on it, especially if they got some sort of test trial and in that particular group, and they probably chose their least efficient group to test it on, and it might be even better than what the least efficient group does, right? The thing is that the salesman does not cover the flaws. And when those flaws bubble up, what will happen is that part of those people that have been fired will be rehired, right? And the reason they'll be rehired just in a slightly different capacity. They will be paid less, and they will be paid to fix the mistakes of the AI, right? That's how it's going to start. So, are they going to take their jobs? In a way, yes, and in another way, no, right? It's a yes and no question. And so eventually the evolution of this whole process, and this is an evolution. It's not a revolution. it's well, I mean, maybe it's a revolution. I don't know. It's there are going to be a lot of changes, right? But eventually, there's just going to be new type of jobs at the other end. Some of them will pay less. Some of them will pay more. It does create change. That is clear. Change is coming. All right, it's
Yeah.
all over us. We have no way of stopping it. But just crying out, they're taking our jobs is also a lie, because those jobs will be gone whether you do something about it or not, right? There's no way of really stopping the train. What we should do, though, and this needs to be probably the key, but you can't sell any tickets to that show, is we need to slow down a bit, right? We need to understand what this means. And by we, I mean government, politics. They need to focus on how to make it right, not how to make it gone or how to speed it up, how to make it right. Because it's not going away, right? It's not going away in any way.
And
It's here
therein,
to remain.
the issue is human nature. And people
Human
will
nature,
have always exploited other people, and there are always people that are gracious and will help other people. And it's hard to find. I worked with salespeople for 40 years where they lied about what a feature is. And I had to go explain to them why the thing that they said they were going to get is not going to happen until next year. Oh, but we already bought this. I said, well, I wasn't there when the salesman told you could have it next week.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. You just don't,
All
it's
right.
about, yeah.
Let's switch here to some better news. AT&T has launched a new account lock feature designed to protect customers from SIM swapping attacks. The security tool, available through the My AT&T app, prevents unauthorized changes to customer accounts, including phone number transfers, SIM card changes, billing information updates, device upgrades, and modifications to authorized users. It's a good thing. It's sort of like what you get when you freeze your credit account on one of the um, bureaus. Like,
what happens when you lose your phone and all of your codes are on that phone?
well,
So
that's
now
true, but you better
you
be able
can't
to go.
unfreeze your
Yeah,
phone
I
line
mean,
and you're screwed.
yeah, but they say here that I don't know why they always say that it's through the My AT&T app. You can go to it on the web too. If you lose your phone, go right away to the web,
No,
go
no, you
there
didn't
and
get my
change.
question.
Yeah, I know.
You
No,
didn't
I
get my question.
understand.
What if you don't have the password to the app, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well, if you don't have
So
if you don't have the
it is
password,
either linked. It is either linked to your identity, or it is linked to your email, right?
if
And
you
so
so why do we need
whatever they're describing is hackable exactly the same way that SIM swapping is hackable.
but
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I think it puts another hurdle in a way of somebody trying to
Only on those who are trying to do it legit.
unprofessionally.
No, the hurdle is only on those who are trying to do it legit. It's
Yeah.
the illusion of the lock, right? Most of us understand that, or most of us need to understand, right? That the lock on our front door
Yeah.
is not what is actually stopping the burglar for coming in. It's maybe stopping the drunk guy who got the wrong door, right? But not more than that. It's the social contract that keeps the people outside of the locked door, not the lock itself,
Yeah.
right? And here you're describing another mechanism, another hurdle for the customer, because the company does not want to take any responsibility.
Well, but isn't it the same as passwords on anything else? It is. If you don't have the password,
Yes, but
then-
that's what I'm saying. It's not any different. They just added another password that you might lose, and you might get locked out of your own account. They haven't really created a scheme that actually saves you.
okay, yeah,
Look, we're talking about the same company that said they had 5G when 5G didn't exist.
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll take anything that AT&T says with a salt of grain, with a grain of salt, and say, I need you to show me that your numbers of phones being hacked is actually
It's-
going
it's
down
going
for
down.
me to
we
to
won't
trust
know
you.
until, yeah, we won't know.
How
that.
dare you speak ill of my great internet service provider and cell phone provider, Gal? I'll have you know.
Yeah, me too. I'm
AT&T.
sitting here. I'm getting like spasms.
Yeah,
I'm listening
how
to this.
to say I'm triggered would be an understatement. Actually, if I'm being
I do use the AT&T app occasionally, but I don't use all the features.
the home shield, the
Oh
armor
yeah,
shield,
but
and all
the
the
stuff they
other
want you.
nonsense.
The stuff they want you to pay for over and above it.
Yeah.
I use the basic. I can go and do account changes, and I do occasionally use their VPN.
They
Because-
offer a VPN.
Yeah, they got
By the way,
Huh.
this show is sponsored by T-Mobile.
Yeah, they have free Active Armor, I think it's called.
I've seen Active Armor. I
Yeah.
keep getting the emails about it, but I've never
Yeah,
looked
and
at
I
it. I
use
don't
it-
know what it does.
I use it on my phone when I'm out.
Hmm.
I have actually 2 VPNs. It depends on how I feel that day. I have
All right.
Nord and I have AT&T.
Another piece of news for those who are into stocks and
News.
stuff. This week, Hewlett Packard Enterprise settled its antitrust case with America's Justice Department,
How great.
paving the way for its acquisition of rival kit maker Juniper Networks.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a big deal.
So they
About
agreed to
freaking time.
What?
It's about freaking time.
Well,
I know a bunch of people at Juniper that will be happy because they're going to get big payouts.
hopefully, yeah, they should.
I hope.
It
And-
is. It is very nice to see that these M&As are finally able to go through after the disaster that Lena Khan was as the head of the Federal Trade Commission, or not the Federal Trade, Federal Trade, FTC, Federal Trade Commission.
And-
She was a disaster.
And there's another one. In a move that feels straight out of a different era, Xerox has officially acquired Lexmark for $1.5 billion. The di-
Lexmark owns a lot of stuff. They have
Yeah.
they sucked up a lot of companies over the last like 20 years. They own a crap ton of little companies.
So they said the deal include net debt and assumed liabilities, and it pulls Lexmark out of the hands of Chinese ownership
Oh,
and
that's
into a
big deal.
freshly restructured Xerox. That's a lot of money for a company best known for making machines that spit out paper. According to Xerox, this is all part of a reinvention strategy. The company now claims it will be one of the top 5 players in every major print category and the leader in managed print services. Xerox says the new leadership team will include executives from both sides, and the combined business will now support over 200,000 clients in more than 170 countries. They'll also
tell me.
be running 125 manufacturing and distribution center in 16 countries. What'd you
They're
say,
gonna
Gal? I'm
slap
sorry.
AI on printers now, and now the reason the printer will not print is because they said, no, don't print this. This is wrong. I'll print something better for you.
Yeah. But it's interesting. I mean, it's like things are like Nick says, things are moving. Who knows how long they've been working on this?
I mean, over the last 4 years, and I'm not. This is me not making an overt political statement. It's a pure fact. The previous administration's policy for M&As were essentially that they couldn't go through. I mean, you had the Microsoft Activision one that we talked about. Even after they won legal battle after legal battle after legal battle, you still had the Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission saying, no, we want to appeal. We want to appeal. We want to take you to court. We want to take you back to court. I mean, it was just a very a very tough time
Mhm.
for mergers and acquisitions, which of course, there is always the risk and threat of monopoly and antitrust. It's a real thing. I'm not saying it's not. But when you've got companies like Lexmark that are, I can't imagine that people are going to be screaming monopoly over over a Lexmark
They're not
acquisition.
they're not a household name.
No, they're really not. I mean,
It used to be.
Well,
Years ago,
yeah, when they were in the consumer
printer,
prosumer
right.
market,
Exactly.
but they had some really good business
Yeah.
printers too.
I mean, if you ask HP, they probably think, "What? Another monopoly?"
Mm.
Yeah, right. Mm.
All right, and here is another story to end here. Microsoft Authenticator houses your passwords and lets you sign into all of your Microsoft accounts using a PIN, facial recognition such as Windows Hello, or other biometric data, like a fingerprint. Authenticator can be used in other ways, such as verifying you are logging in if you forgot your password, or using two-factor authentication as an extra layer of security for your Microsoft account. Now, in June, Microsoft stopped letting users add passwords to Authenticator. But here is a timeline of other changes you can expect, according to Microsoft. July 2025, you won't be able to use the autofill passwords function. In August 2025, you'll no longer be able to use saved passwords.
Yeah, they're phasing out the password vault out
Yep.
of it. Yeah, their app tells you this in very bright banners every time you open it. So I don't think anybody's going to be surprised unless they use it once a year and suddenly it won't
It's
do what
suddenly
they
done, yeah.
expected. And if that's the case, that's not a big deal.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've used Authenticator for years for logging into Microsoft accounts with the PIN, because that's the most workplaces have that set up as the requirement. I did
And
not
that'll
know that
still-
it even offered. I didn't even
Yeah.
know it offered any of that additional functionality at all. I've only ever seen it as a two-factor key system.
It was
yeah.
for my summer of employment. They offered a couple of different methods of logging into the payroll system and one was Authenticator. I hated it. I stayed with just doing two-factor authentication and not going with the because I could not get it to work on my phone right.
Yeah, it's always been finicky.
All right.
I put a link in the chat to the Joe Rogan interview with Roman Yamplotsky.
Oh, I meant to. This has been on my list. I haven't.
Oh my
watched
gosh,
it yet.
Nick! It's you sit there. I started listening to it late at night, thinking, well, it's going to put me to sleep. Sometimes if I can't sleep, I listen to something droning on, and I wound up listening for like an hour or more than I wanted to, just because it was so interesting. Yeah,
I've heard that was a good one.
Very good.
Well, Spence, I just want to be clear. You sent a link to another radio show on this radio?
Yeah.
That's
It was a paid
shameful.
link. I got an honorarium for it. I just saw the money arrive in my Cash App.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, like all good scams. Just send on Cash App.
That's it.
What could possibly go wrong?
It's all about
Zillow.
commerce.
No, not Zillow. What's it
Zelle.
called? Zelle. Yeah.
So Freevee is going away too.
Freevee, the
gone
streaming
or-
TV service?
Yeah.
They
The
were
Amazon owned one?
Amazon plans to shut down its standalone Freevee app in August,
Oh, it's
Didn't they
blending
just
it into
buy
Prime.
it?
according
It's
to
blending
an
into video into Prime.
according to an in-app notice to users. The free ad-supported streaming service is directing viewers to continue watching Freevee content
Yeah.
on Prime
Prime,
Video.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been
That
coming
makes
for a while.
sense.
Well,
It's
what
not
the
shutting
hell?
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is my Vizio remote that's got a freaking Freevee icon on it? What is this? What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do now?
It'll open.
I don't know,
Amazon
but let
Prime.
us
No,
know
no,
what
I know-
it's
I know
doing.
what
No.
it'll open.
There's
It'll
already
open,
an Amazon button on here.
It just
it'll
takes you to
open a
blank
slide
screen.
that says we have moved to Amazon Prime.
Ah, what a pain in the ass.
Be careful that it doesn't open a scam site.
Yeah. Well,
Yes,
hey,
somebody will buy that spot.
yeah. The good news is on a smart TV, those things never get updates, so you don't ever have to worry about that ever being. You don't ever have to worry about it being taken over.
So Freevee was originally,
They didn't. They just bought it. Like I say,
It was
just. But
IMDb something.
yeah, IMDb's video
TV
streaming
or
service.
IMDb
Yeah.
Yeah.
shows or something like
Yeah,
that.
and they
Yeah.
bought it and they changed the name
When did they buy it? I feel like it was a while
a
ago.
couple of years ago.
Not,
I don't think they bought it. I think they developed it. IMDb is Amazon's is owned by Amazon for what? For 15, 20 years. It's not like as far as I remember, Amazon and IMDb is not a new thing. And they
No, you are
started
right.
it with that brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have sworn somebody else owned Freevee. I must be thinking of something
No, it
else.
was just a
and somebody
rebrand
bought it.
from the IMDb one.
IMDb TV. Yeah.
I am guessing in order to put it on more platforms, they wanted to somehow disconnect it from IMDb. And yeah.
All right.
It's interesting though. Freevee did. I feel like it was a relative. I say well known, but I'll say relatively well known service. There was a lot of marketing. You know, every smart TV had a Freevee app built already pre-installed into it. They did a lot of work to build that out as a free TV, don't buy cable service. And it's interesting that they are just morphing it into what Prime Video already offers all of these channels anyway.
Well, you know what?
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, as a Prime user that has subscriptions through Prime to other services,
Mhm.
this is what they want because they get a piece of the action. And I have Acorn, which is it's like BritBox. It's a different version of BritBox, and we've got a couple of them. All the subscriptions go through Prime. So
Yeah.
this is now they're just blending it in. So you'll be part of the Prime. You have to pay now to not get commercials through a lot of Prime stuff. So this is a moneymaker for them. They're just pulling it in.
I have a stupid question for you, Spence. Why are you doing your subscriptions through Amazon? What is the benefit?
Because I was not the one that did it.
Okay.
It just, oh, I want to do this, and bang, it happens, and it's just that's the way it goes.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
even if you had a subscription outside of that, if you load the app onto your Amazon Fire TV,
Mhm.
it pulls it into Prime.
Interesting.
The other
All right.
aspect Free TV does that Prime isn't designed to, Free TV is live. It provides
Yes.
the live channels, right? So they're
Prime Video does
probably
that
just
now.
Making now that's
Yeah.
the thing. Now Amazon does it, so they can just fit it into the app, and they don't need to manage another, basically another software production process, right?
Platform.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
another platform.
Had a really good name ID though. That's tough.
I mean, it's all marketing, a name at the end. So
Yeah,
Uh,
ChatGTP did a great job of creating a guide with diagrams and all kinds of stuff on how to replace the starter on a 2012 Elantra.
There you go.
And I put suggestions in to say, I don't want to go the route of taking off the entire front of the car, like some people suggest. I said, I want to go in through the plenum, the air plenum, which makes it a lot easier. Oh, okay. Just put it together. Would you like diagrams? Yes. Printed it off 8 pages.
yes, but you see,
Couple
Unfortunately,
you
you're going to get halfway
s-
through it and realize a part's not there, and it just completely made it. It made half of it up, and you're going to have your car
Yeah.
halfway taken apart in the
Right.
driveway.
and Spence, you said there's no original thought. You will get a very original car at the end.
That's right. Yeah, it'll be a very different from what you see on the road.
all right. Anything else anybody wants to add here? It's time. No?
You need to add to the outro. Always stay suspicious of any answer an AI gives you. We
Okay.
need to think about the wording.
All right.
It has become the theme of the show. So
Well, I mean, it's becoming a very important aspect of everyday life. And it's not that we choose it, it's being forced on us.
Well, that don't let's not. It's not being forced on us. We
Look,
are
when
all
I go,
happily engaging in this stupefaction of an experiment.
look, when I go here on this machine, which I did not choose anything special on the laptop, and when I search, or no, when I search for ask a question, and it comes back and said, "Would you like to try Copilot? Would you like to try this? Would you like to try that?"
That's
No,
not
I don't want
forced.
any
Come
of that.
on, that's
Well, a lot of people
advertising.
would say yes, and that's forced on us. I did not choose to go to ChatGPT 4 or to Copilot or to whatever.
Yeah, when you go
I
through a major update now on Windows, you go through this 5 or 6 screen marketing campaign to get you to buy new services and log in and we're 365 and we have cloud and we have this other stuff. So
Yeah,
you just keep saying, why can't they have at the beginning? No, I don't want any of your crap.
right.
Just click that button.
Yeah.
because there's no regulation that tells them they must.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway,
So if I'm in my house and the house catches fire and I ask GTP what I should do, does it come back and say this is fine?
No, but it'll tell you drop the phone and call the fire
I
department.
try, I'm thinking of the meme with the dog sitting in the burning house
Yeah,
saying this
everything's
is fine.
Yeah.
Oh well.
all right, guys.
Okay.
Well, that was great. That was good. Hope you all had happy Independence Day. Everybody listening and everybody here.
They did a really nice drone show in Apex before the fireworks.
Really
Yeah. Like a 20-minute drone
nice.
show. Yep. It's pretty cool.
All right.
The drones are coming for the fireworks job.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, there's no explosion, right? There's no.
Yeah.
I wonder if they
Reusable.
could just have drones blow up just to be the fireworks.
All right. So thanks, Spence. Thanks, Nick. And thanks, Gal. And Katie, I hope you're having a good time. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie and Dana, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov and Yael. Thanks to everybody for tuning to Computers to Canal. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive, update your virus scanner, and change any same password wherever you use them. And don't believe, like Gal suggested, don't believe everything that AI is telling you. Be very suspicious of of what?
Be critical.
Critical
any
of what you're
information
getting
you
back.
get
Yeah.
from a chatbot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Again, Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m. Nick hosts the Carolina Journal News Hour on WBT 1110 a.m. and 99.3 FM in Charlotte, and live on YouTube. Just search on YouTube for the Carolina Journal News Hour. Nick also hosts his new show, The Nick Craig Show, every weekday between 7 and 8. Just go to nickcraig.com and get the information where to download the past ones, the previous ones. And Nick and Brian also host the Infection podcast every week on Twitch. That's for gamers, survival games, gaming news, and some political stuff here and there. Just go to infectionpodcast.com and get the information where to go watch it live or where to download the previous shows. Have a great week. Stay out of the storm. And we'll be back together next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.